Friday night, it's a sports show. And, Jace, you love your stats and you love your tennis, don't you?
No, I'm not a huge tennis fan, to be quite honest with you.
I love it.
Not a massive tennis fan, but I tell you what, I make an exception for Wimbledon.
I do too. I stayed up last night.
Strawberries and cream. I love the grass courts. The rest of it, I can take it or leave it, to be honest. But I do love watching the Big Four play. They actually make the game look quite presentable. But to be honest, these days, tennis, the men's game at least, is bash and crash. And, when you get to, sort of 20 in the world, it doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah, Big Four. Roger is through.
He's
Talking about the Big Four, he is through. Here's something good for you. We got this Jordan Thompson. Now, I don't know if you watched the game. I've watched both games that he's won now. He never had won at Wimbledon before this year. He has played and got through to the fourth round of the US Open at one occasion. So he's a journeyman. He looks like the guy that you rock into the front bar somewhere. He's standing there with his unshaven thing and a bit of moustache, like a Robert De Pere Domenico of yesteryear, and says, "G'day, mate. Can I buy you a beer?" That looks like Jordan. He's just beat Nishikori, who is the Japanese, one of the players that has played in a final at the Grand Slam event.
Yep.
He beat him in 4 sets, and it was great tennis to watch.
Yes, well done to him, Jordan Thompson. Duckworth as well got through against Sam Querrey, and he can seriously play. But the man from, I believe, Murray Bridge.
Yeah, Bolty.
Yeah, Bolt. He jumped out to a 3-1 lead in the first set. I was watching a bit of this last night against Corey, the Pom, who duly broke him back and then proceeded to flog him from that point, 6-3, 6-1, 6-2. So, unfortunately, after a relatively good start, it didn't end well for young Bolt.
No, Bolty was bolted out of there pretty quickly. But what about Medvedev? He's one of the big seeds, the number 2 seed. He got through in 3 sets easily against the Spanish Alcaraz. And outside of that, let's head to the next day of tennis, which is today.
No, we've got one more game to talk about because this is a game I did watch, and it was Nick Kyrgios.
Yeah.
Who, if you go to the next screen there, Flowman, Nick Kyrgios, after a magnificent round 1 win over a man who was in full, 9-7 in the fifth, but the man he played there had won a lead-up tournament at Halle
in Germany.
Yep. And was flying. Nick managed to see that off in a game that they stopped overnight and then they had to come back to finish.
Curfew.
So anything that could have gone against him did. His body language on court was fantastic. This game against Mega from Italy was 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. So Nick is poised to go deep into this tournament.
Oh, yes.
He's knocked off a seed already. He runs into another seed in round 3, and I know not everyone's a Nick Kyrgios fan, but I wish him well.
No, we certainly have to. Novak Djokovic is in the third round against Cutler, the US player. He is looking really strong, and who can go past him? Roger in 3 over Gasquet gets through to the next round. And what is good about that is that we get Shapovalov, who is this absolute gun number 10 seed from Canada. He is very good. Plays Andy Murray in the third round.
Yes, and Andy Murray is... he's hardly played a match on tour for the last 5 years. Got through in a 5-setter in round 2, and the English fans got him over the line. This is a man who's playing with a metal hip at the moment. Let's bear that in mind. So good luck to Andy Murray. I hope he goes deep.
Jordan plays Ivashka. Never heard of him.
Nope. I don't know what that flag is. I don't know what country that is.
He's going to be a big one. And
I pride myself on my flag knowledge, but I don't know that one.
I'll flag that for next time. We'll have a look at it. Cilic and Medvedev is the big one. It is Sonegar who takes on Duckworth, the Italian player. And then Federer gets Norrie, the British player. And what about Kyrgios? He gets Olga Alessimi, who is the Canadian. And I reckon Kyrgios can win that game and get through to the fourth round.
I'm tipping he's French-Canadian, so yes, I'm going to go with Kyrgios.
Women's side of the draw, Ash Barty through last night. She had to fight for it 6-4, 6-3. She also had to fight in 3 sets in the first round, but she just looks to me like she's just getting some fitness. A mental thing on her serving was a bit up and down, I had to say. Really, a lot of double faults for Ash.
Yeah, we'll see how she goes. If she can get past the first week, then you'd have her right on the money to go deep. So Blankova, she beat her. Well done, Ash. As long as you're in the tournament, you're still a chance. But Kerber is looming large. She had a 3-set win. There was a couple of seeds who bowed out, it's got to be said too. So I think Pliskova is not seeded this year, but certainly a big name. Svitolina out.
Yep.
She was the number 3 seed. So as is always the way in Grand Slams, if you get through that first week and you're a fairly significant seed, you'll go all right.
Sakari, the girl from Greece, got to the semi-final in the French Opens, is out. Rogers from America beat her, and Keys got through to beat Davis, the other American. What about this as you go through? Sloane Stephens is through too. She beat Arne. A lot of American girls in this tournament. Venus is out, Serena is out, and Cannon is out too, the American number 4 seed. That is interesting in itself. But from an Australian point of view, it's going to be just Ash. I think
never been a better chance for Ash to go really deep into a tournament with some of the early seeds that have gone down. So we wish you well.
We certainly do. It is Wimbledon. I'm going to be following it. I'm going to be staying up late at night. I absolutely love watching it. And I'll tell you what, even though you don't, I know that by the second week you will be on and watching it with me.
Always love Wimbledon, mate. I'll be watching it. But don't ask me anything about the US Open later in the year. I won't be watching that.
We'll see whether it is a case of Novak Djokovic joining Federer and Rafael Nadal on 20 Grand Slam victories, or whether Roger can hold out one last hurrah. Reckon he'd have to have somebody upset Novak in the draw in order for that to happen. Otherwise, Novak's going to be the one to watch here.